So you're doing marketing for your small business, and maybe you think you've got everything in place. You know, you've got a website, you've got social media content going. Maybe you're even doing paid ads, SEO, and all of that, but something still doesn't seem to be working. Well, in this episode, I'm going to give you the step-by-step checklist of everything that you need to make sure you have in your marketing. If you want to stand out online and dominate your industry, welcome to Marketing Domination. So on this episode, we are going to be giving you the step-by-step checklist of everything that you need to make sure that you have on your marketing to ensure that you dominate and stand out online. And this is all part of a free checklist that I've created. You can get it on our website, SeanGarner.co. Scroll down to the bottom, type in your name and email, and we will send you this full checklist over to you and get it on your computer so you can follow along. I will say this, even though we call it the Marketing Domination Checklist, this is not everything that you need if you truly want to dominate with your marketing. This is the foundation of what it takes to dominate with your marketing. So as we're going through it, we're not going to discuss a lot of granular detail things like paid ads or local service ads, or even optimizing Google business profiles and everything. These are the foundational things that it takes to, in my viewpoint, just get you in the game if you want to succeed with your small business marketing. So we're going to go through these things. There's 3 different sections, and then there's different checklist items in each one of those sections. But I promise you, if you go to our website, SeanGarner.co, get the checklist, and you start to implement these things, your business will grow. So let's dive into the marketing domination framework and the checklist that your small business needs. So number 1 is you need to build a sales funnel. That is the very first thing that you need to do. Now, with that, there's several checklist items if you want to build a sales funnel. So recap on my viewpoint on a sales funnel. A sales funnel is not a software tool like ClickFunnels or anything like that. It is not the structure of a landing page. Like you might think of a funnel landing page to where you can only click through and you can't schedule, or the only thing you can do is go to the next page and you can't access the other service pages. That's what people think of a funnel page. It's not a CRM automation to where it's funneling people through at different steps. For me, whenever I use the term sales funnel, it is a lead nurturing system that takes people or prospects from not knowing who you are to super fan customers for life. And so it is the overall system, not the individual tool, if that makes sense. So the very first aspect of building a sales funnel is you've got to get your branding in place. Now, with me, your branding is not just logos, colors, and fonts and all the things that most people think of when it comes to a logo or a visual branding. Branding is broken down into 2 key components. The first thing is your visual identity. So it is those logos, colors, fonts, and that brand guidelines that you'll create. But the second, and what I think is honestly overlooked by a lot of people, is your words that you are using. What is the messaging that you are putting out there with your brand? Oftentimes, small business owners, they make the critical mistake of over concerned about their logo and visual and don't put enough preference or emphasis into the words that they use. And the example I always give, we design logos with our agency all the time and brand guidelines kits, as well as StoryBrand messaging guidelines, which is, I think, the most important part of branding. And oftentimes we have the most revisions of anything that we do with clients on their visual identity, their logos, colors, and fonts, but people hardly ever ask for revisions on the copy that we write for them. And I always try to educate our clients with this. And I'll always ask them this, because when it's your baby, you're always really close to it. But have you, and think about this for yourself as a business owner, have you ever looked at another business and oh my gosh, that logo's awesome, I want them to take my money? No, what you want to do is you want to read, or you hear something that a brand says, wow, it sounds like they're talking directly to me. And it's the words that they're using in their branding, oftentimes not their logo, that gets you to buy. So words are very, very important when it comes to your overall brand, which is the key foundational standpoint of building your marketing funnel. The next thing is part of that branding messaging, and the next thing that you need on your marketing domination checklist is a one-liner statement. A one-liner statement just clearly answers the question, what do you do, without you sounding boring. In your one-liner statement, it should do three things. It kind of follows this formula. One, talk about the problem that you solve. Two, talk about how you do it. And three, talk about how their life's going to be better once you get that problem solved for them. Most time, whenever people ask, what do you do? They answer with their job title, their job description, the service they provide. Well, a lot of people have preconceived ideas because of their past experience of what that service is. Came from the fitness industry for a long time. So if you tell somebody you're a personal trainer, well, they're instantly going to lump you in with every other personal trainer they know. Their neighbor that took a weekend certification, and they're going to lump you in with the person that's got their, PhD in exercise science, and they're still going to call them both personal trainers. So a one-liner statement is really important for businesses if they want to stand out with what they do and how they serve their customers. The third aspect of building your sales funnel and part of this marketing domination checklist is you need a website. Websites are very important. It is often your digital storefront and most often the first impression that a potential customer has an interaction with your brand. Your website should be structured out especially your homepage should be structured out to 10 key areas that help to guide your prospects through this lead generation standpoint. We don't want to make our website all about us. We want to build off of our branding and our brand messaging, which is all about our customer. So that way it guides the customer or the potential customer through those relationship stages so they want to become our customer and not just a prospect. But the next thing that we need is part of our marketing domination checklist is a lead generator. So not every potential customer that comes to our website is going to be ready to buy. So for those customers, we need to have a lead generator on our website that collects that customer's information so we can follow back up with them. Like I said, not everybody that comes to your website is going to be ready to buy. So we want to have something that we can have an exchange of value. And in this case, the value is not monetary, but it is their name and their contact information so we can follow back up with them. These are people that have identified that they're interested in getting their problem solved by us, but they just wanted a little bit more information. They wanted to get us to know us a little bit better. So for these lead generators, two kind of key components for them, I should say three key components is one, it should have a clear, catchy title. Two, it should actually solve a problem for them. So with this, typically what I say is that it should get them the first step of their journey or their process or get them a quick win. If it doesn't do those things, don't waste your time putting it on your website because you're just going to look, which is the mistake number three. We don't want to be clickbaity with it. So clear, catchy title. It should give them a quick win or give them the first step of the problem, and it should not be clickbaity because this is one of those things to where once somebody gets it, the point of this lead generator is the next thing on our checklist, the follow-up. We want to be able to follow up with these potential leads with our marketing sales funnel. So that way we have this sales automated sequence, whether it be text message marketing, your sales team, an automated email sequence that's following up with these prospects to get them to buy your product or service. If we are clickbaity with our lead generator, well, as soon as we start this sales cycle process, we're instantly going to be at such a lower status because they don't trust us because we promised this amazing thing, the lead generator, and then they didn't deliver on it. It's going to hurt our trust with them. And that's the whole point of this lead generator is to identify prospects and to develop trust and position ourselves as an authority to help them solve their problem. And so if we're already lying to them about the lead generator whenever they get it, not going to start off too good. So we want to make sure that we're honest with how we do it and we're getting them those things. Don't tell them that they're going to download some ebook and be able to have a $1 million business if that's not what it's going to do. We want to make sure that it delivers on the promise that we say. So for example, this is a lead generator right here. You go to the website, SeanGarner.co, and if you want the complete checklist, you can go there to get it. On that checklist, it's going to show you these things right here that you need if you want your small business marketing to dominate. If you put these things in place, your business will grow. That is a promise I can stamp right there and assure you, if you have all this stuff in place, your business is going to grow. The very last, or the second to the last part of this step one of building your sales funnel is you need to have that nurture email sequence. So after they've gone through that sales email sequence, well, the next thing that we want to do is we want to have that constant stay in touch. So they might not be ready to buy when they go to your website. That's why we get the lead generator. They might not be able to buy or ready to buy once they go through your sales email sequence. That's why we have our nurture email sequence. The whole point of this sales email sequence is just to keep you on top of mind. So when they do have that problem or they're ready to get the problem solved that you work with, you come up first in their head. So with these emails, they are not sales emails. We do not want to be spamming our list every single week. Buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. Here's a promotion, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. Instead, we want to create value-driven emails that position you as an expert and give them quick wins. It's kind of almost like really smaller versions of the lead generator as far as the philosophy behind it is. We want to give people quick wins, helpful tips that help position you as an expert, but also benefit them. We want to create emails that people are excited about opening up each and every week, not just instantly send to spam. We don't want that. And the last aspect of our building a sales funnel process is your Google business listing. For local service businesses, this is huge. And one of the most powerful things that you can do for a local service-based business, if you want to start generating leads and getting more customers, is optimizing your Google business listing. Make sure your listing is up to date. All the contact information is on there, and you've got your profile completely filled out, and you update it with new photos and updates on a regular basis. That's one of the most powerful things that you can do for a local service business. So step one for marketing domination is you need a sales funnel. For that sales funnel, you need to have your branding in place, which is your visual identity and the words that you use. The words we use are the StoryBrand messaging framework, which is those 7 key talking points that guide your customers through the hero's journey of copy, storytelling. Number 2 is you need a one-liner statement. Clearly articulates what you do and it doesn't make you sound boring. 3, you need a website. The website needs to be set up to convert. Your website should do 2 things: get you leads, make you sales. And it should follow the 10 different sections that we've talked about in the past in order to follow that conversion framework. The 4th thing is you need a lead generator on that website. If you don't have a lead generator, you're missing out on customers because they are bouncing and they are going to someone else, and someone else is going to follow up with them. You need that lead generator so you could do the 5th thing, which is follow up with them with the sales email sequence. This can be written. This can, like in emails, it can be text, or it can be phone calls with a sales team, but you have a follow sales system for those people that have come and downloaded that lead generator. 6 is we want to write those nurture emails. And these are going to be those ongoing keep in touch emails that are adding value to your customers, keeping you at top of mind. 7, we want to have our Google business listing optimized so that way we are maximizing our local search traffic. So that's step 1, is we want to build a sales funnel. And the second step to marketing domination is we want to then fill the sales funnel. So just because you built this amazing sales funnel does not mean that people are going to start just instantly filling it up. We have to be intentional with what we do to fill it up. There's kind of 3 main things that we focus on initially. Like I said, this is not the detailed granular list where we're talking about paid ads and everything, but 3 main things that we like to focus on is number 1 is organic content. I am a big fan of organic marketing because it's everlasting. That sounds stupid. It's everlasting, like a fantasy world. No, but it lasts forever. What I don't like about paid ads and when businesses rely on them is as soon as pay-per-click ad prices change or Facebook or Meta, Instagram ad prices change or the algorithm change, instantly you can tank your business overnight. With organic content, if you've done the right work and laid the groundwork of building up a solid organic brand, you don't have to worry about algorithm shifts and everything as much because you've actually put in the work to build a brand. If you have understood and put in the time, effort, and energy that it takes to actually grow a brand, yes, there's going to be algorithm changes that will still affect organic content creation and stuff. But if you know the skills and you put in the time to create that stuff and create that brand, they're not going to be as big of shifts or swings that you see with people whenever time there's a new Google update or a social media algorithm update. Building organic content is key for long-term success. Second way that we, so I like to fill my sales funnels with organic content, things like a podcast, just like this, things like social media content, YouTube videos, all that good stuff. The second part of it, which is also organic content, but it's with SEO and blog articles. So I think that it is a very wise thing to do to focus on SEO because that is a long-term, like forever lasting strategy. If you've built up authority on a topic, it's a lot harder to get taken out than somebody that's just running ads and a competitor can come in and they can outbid you and outspend you on ads. I want to help set up my business, my client's business for long-term success, not just trying to grab a quick win here and there. Like I want to set up for long-term sustainability, making sure you have a solid SEO plan in place. Using things like blogs is a great way to help do that. and tons of other SEO strategies to then fill that sales funnel. And the third thing, especially for local service businesses, which is primarily what we work with, is getting Google reviews and testimonials. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a business that has been in business for 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years, and they hardly have any reviews on Google. And it's typically just because they're not even asking their customers, or they don't have a repeatable framework, or they have never even thought that or known that that was a thing. The only time that they get reviews is when a customer has to go on there and figure it out themselves. And typically, if that's the case, you're getting more bad reviews than good reviews, because unless they are asked or it's made easy for them, customers typically only leave raving reviews, or because you went way out of your way into something awesome, or it was a horrible experience. And unfortunately for most people, they had a horrible experience. So that's where, if you don't have this stuff set up and done in place, it's really easy for a competitor to pop up overnight, just put some effort into this and take you out in the eyes of local search and Google, because you don't have this review system in place. So we want to fill ourselves. The first one thing is, we talked about, we got to build a sales funnel. The second thing, we got to fill our sales funnel. I personally believe local service businesses should be filling their sales funnel with organic content, SEO and blog articles, Google reviews and testimonials as the foundation. And that leads us to the last part for marketing domination, which is optimizing your sales funnel. So if we want to stay ahead of our competition, we have to constantly be optimizing our sales funnel. And whenever we're doing that, there's three main things that I like to look at for our funnel. So the first thing is data and analytics. I tell our clients all the time, we don't make decisions based upon personal preference or emotion. We make it off of data. There are so many data tools and analytic tools that we have access to, that if we're not leveraging those, we're being foolish. And we want to be wise with our business, and we want to steward it properly. And so we want to make sure that as we're doing things, it's not like, this just feels right. No, we got all this data. Let's use this data to find out what's actually working, so we can double down on that. And if we're spending all this time, effort, and energy and resources on something that's not working, well, let's cut it and let's move on to something that actually is working for us. So we want to optimize our sales funnel, looking at the data. When I'm looking at data, some of the points that I want to be looking at is from overall just the traffic. How many people are coming to my website, my landing pages? Things like impressions with Google Search Console. Well, how many impressions am I getting? How many clicks am I getting because of those impressions? What type of social content is getting the most engagement? And for me, the engagement that I want to look at is what is driving a ton of clicks on things that I'm doing, because I personally don't care about having a large social media following just to have a large social media following. I want to build a true community of small business owners. And so I don't care if something goes viral. I'm trying to serve, add value, and position myself as a thought leader, which is, I think, what most local service business owners should do, is position themselves as an expert, not try to go viral. And we want to look at the data and analytics to what things are actually driving and turning into customers, not just getting views on posts and everything. So the other thing that we want to do to optimize our sales funnel is we want to rely and look on automations and AI. So I think that there's oftentimes I see small business owners, they'll rush into wanting to automate all this stuff. And now AI is this huge buzzword. So if you just say anything's AI, they're like, oh, wow, that's awesome. Well, you need to learn how to leverage that properly, because not every aspect of your business needs to be automated or needs to have AI input into it, especially if you're starting out with some of this digital marketing stuff. One of the mistakes I see small business owners make is they try to automate things too quickly without having a proven process. So for example, I don't think you should automate certain sales processes until you have a proven process that works. I like using some things I do like to automate right off the get-go, are things like, if somebody books an appointment with you, I want to automate appointment reminders, because I don't want to waste my time or staff time to have to call people and remind them of their appointment, make sure that they show up and things like that. I want it to be automated to save myself time. There's certain things that I want to be automated, like when somebody enters their email address in, I want to automate sending them their lead generator. I don't want that to be manual, because that's something that could be missed. There's a lot of back-end CRM tasks where I want them to be automated. That way I'm reminded of things and tasks that I need to do. But I think oftentimes people will automate everything, and then when something's not working, because so many tasks are automated, they don't actually know where to start diagnosing the problem first. And again, like we talked about earlier with data and analytics, well, if everything's automated and you've never proven any of it, well, how do you know where to start breaking down and seeing what needs to be tweaked and changed with your sales funnel? So I like to start small with the automations and then add as we kind of get proven processes, and also automating things that are extremely repetitive tasks. So like sending invoices, payment follow-ups, credit card, expired credit card reminders and stuff like that. I want to automate those kind of things that are just like sucking a lot of time, but they are consistent in my output of things that I do, if that makes sense. The other thing that I want to do is I do want to leverage things like AI. There's a lot of really cool things that you can do with AI, but I don't want to just throw something in my marketing or in my business just because it's got the term AI in it and there's a lot of buzzwordy things. Some things that I do think are really cool with AI, especially for the type of businesses that I typically work with local service businesses, is using AI to help book appointments, to where somebody can go to the website and they can ask for different service times, and the AI can look at the schedule, find the best appointment for them, and talk them through getting the call booked or rebooked or rescheduled if they need to. Another way where I like to use AI is you can educate it on some general FAQs about your business and create an AI chat bot for your business. If again, you find yourself answering some same repetitive questions, train an AI chatbot to answer those questions for you so you can free up your time to do more higher value tasks for your business. And then the last thing for optimizing the sales funnel that we really like to look at is copy and design tweaks. So words matter. And as we start going through our marketing sales funnel, we're really looking to optimize it. We typically want to look at little key or transitional words is whenever we're building things. So what's the calls to action that we're using? Can we make those more clear and more direct? For me, better copy and better words is more clear and more direct, and not trying to be cute and clever, but I want to be extremely direct with what we want the customers to do and what we do actually. The other thing that we can look at is doing design tweaks. Well, should we move the button location, change the button shape, change the button color? All of those little things actually do make a difference, but I don't want people to over obsess about it at first. And we don't know what works until we've actually been tracking the data. And so we don't want to make the decisions like, oh, well, I like the button this way. Well, no, let's actually split test some things. Let's use some screen tracking software and stuff like that. Let's find out what actually leads to the most amount of conversion. So to recap, the foundation of what I believe marketing domination is for local service-based business owners is these three things. You need to have a sales funnel. A sales funnel is that process that guides customers through the different relationship stages for you, so that way it takes them from a prospect that doesn't know you to a super fan for life. After we have built that sales funnel, we have to fill that sales funnel. I think the best way and the best return of your time and investment is organic content, with using things like organic social content, SEO and blog articles, and local business, local Google reviews and testimonials. After we've done those things in place, we want to make sure that we're always tweaking and viewing things and optimizing our sales funnel. Don't think that just because you built it, it's done and it's set. Don't think just because you built it that people are going to come. This is a constant repetitive thing that we're always doing. We're always building, filling, and optimizing those sales funnels. So if you want to do a deeper dive on this, go to the website, guys, at SeanGarner.co and download the Marketing Domination Checklist. This is exactly what we do for local service-based business owners every single day. We help them build, fill, and optimize their sales funnels so they stand out online and become the industry dominators. If that's something you'd like us to do for you, love the opportunity to hear a little bit more about your business and even see if it would be a good fit. Just go to SeanGarner.co. You can schedule a call and we can see how we can serve your business. So hope you guys are doing awesome. Talk to you soon.